Hello everyone, welcome to ISIFE EDUBLOG. The English teacher is here and we shall continue with our work on pronouns. I hope you have watched the first lesson on pronouns before coming to the second. Whichever, if this is the first video you're clicking, then you do yourself the favor of watching the first lesson on pronouns so that you flow with our pace. Now, we look at the reflexive pronouns because we had first looked at personal pronouns and had detailed discussions on that. Now, what is a reflexive pronoun? Well, they are the self pronouns, pronouns that take self. These are pronouns that reflect the actions of the subject on itself. Yes, when the subject of the sentence is in charge of the action returns to it. Say it is reflexive. Now, I will be explaining both the reflexive and the emphatic pronouns together because they are basically the same in words but different in position. The basic difference between the reflexive pronoun and the emphatic pronoun is the positioning of the two pronouns. Now, the list I have here: myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, themselves, yourselves, themselves, and ourselves. These pronouns are the same as the emphatic pronouns. It is basically the positioning that will differentiate them. Now, back to the reflexive pronouns. I did it myself. I did the job myself, which means I is subject and is the performer of the action here. That's why myself returns. Do your assignment by yourself. Do your assignment by yourself. That's my piece of advice. Now, your assignment by yourself, which means the addressed person will be the said person to do this assignment. Reflexive. They washed the uniforms by themselves. So the action returns to the subject each time. Action returns to the subject each time. If any child breaks anything, let them repair it by themselves. I've put this example here to show you how the pronoun themselves is used. Like I said earlier, it is the newest entrance into the class of pronouns, and it is a bit controversial. Of course, women and their supporters all over the world believe that the English language is not fair to womanhood. And so, all manner of things are being done to see how they can be accommodated, so to say. I mean, naturally, the sentence should have been, if any child breaks anything, let him repair it by himself. That is what the English language would have naturally been. But because of the feminists and those in their support, we now have to reconstruct certain things. Because the belief is that if you say, if any child breaks anything, let him repair it by himself, you are sidelining the woman. The child could have been a girl. Now you're using him and himself. So where is the place of the woman and all of those? Well, they may not be too antagonistic. But the grammatical approach to solving this problem is that we've created themselves. Now I've used them here. Them as a plural pronoun is neuter. It's not for the man, it's not for the woman. Even if it goes against this one, which is child, this is plural and this is singular. but this plural form is accepted since the singular form could be him or her, which is gender sensitive. So we've created, we've used them to avoid using him or her. Then we've used themselves to avoid using themselves, since this is just a child. So that's how we've solved this problem of feminine agitation. We go to emphatic pronouns. Like I said earlier, these two pronouns are the same in words but different in position. These are the same as the reflexive pronouns. The only difference is in the positioning. By bringing the self pronoun close to the subject, an emphasis is achieved. Alright? That's just it. So, I myself did it. I myself did it. Emphatic pronoun. Emphasis, that is just it. Here, I did it myself. You were not emphatic. I myself did it. Naturally, you will be emphasizing that fact. They themselves washed their uniforms. They themselves washed their uniforms. Here, it was they washed their uniforms themselves. It was not that emphatic. So, we made it emphatic here by saying they themselves washed their uniforms. You yourself must do the assignment. You yourself must do the assignment. That is what we mean on the platform of emphatic pronouns. Well, we go to the next kind of pronouns. Next, we look at demonstrative pronouns. These are pronouns that point out a person or thing being discussed, or the person or thing being discussed. These are pronouns that point out the person or thing being discussed. Now, they include this, these, that, those, such. Remember, these is the plural form of this. This, while this one is these. That, those. Those. Alright? This is used when you're talking of a single thing that is close. This is my son. So my son is with me. This is my son. These are my sons. These are my sons. So both this and these are used when the person or thing you're talking about is or are close to you. Alright? That and those are used when the person or persons or thing or things you're talking about is or are not close to you. Again, those is a plural form of that. That is my uncle. That is my uncle. Oh, I am saying something different from what is on the board. That is your uncle, right? That is your uncle. Those are your uncles. Those are your uncles. And then we said, such is life. Pointing out what is being talked about. Next, we have the indefinite pronouns. The indefinite pronouns refer to no one in particular. They're pronouns that are used indefinitely. That is to say, they don't refer to anybody or anything in particular. So, here we go. We have one, we have none, we have nobody, somebody, someone, something, any, anyone, anything, all, few, several, many, anybody, and so on. Now, some of them take the singular verb, some take the plural verb, some take both the singular and the plural verb. We'll try to look at how these things go. Now, many have arrived. So many, even if you take many of, even if many takes of, many does not take the singular verb. Like, even if I say, many of the girls, it will still be have eaten. Alright? Have is a plural verb. One shouldn't hide one's opinion. I use this because, please, when you use one as a subject, right, it should serve as the antecedent of one. Alright? One has been used as subject here. The pronoun that will work as one will also be one. One shouldn't hide one's opinion. So, in case of an examination situation, don't take one shouldn't hide his opinion or one shouldn't hide her opinion. No, one takes one. One should be mindful of what one says in public. One should be mindful of what one says in public. Okay, something is wrong with you. Something takes the singular verb. Alright? Everything takes the singular verb. Everything is in abundance. Everything is in abundance. Singular verb. Several takes the plural verb. Several have been discarded. Several have been discarded. All is not well. Something. All behaves in two different ways. If all means thing, as you have it here, everything actually. If all means everything, then it should take the singular verb. All is not well. All that glitters is not gold. All is lost that is not given. These are ancient sayings. Alright? But when all means everybody, when all means everybody, it takes the plural verb. All are equal before the law. You know, everybody will take is. Everybody is equal before the law. All are equal before the law. These are the little things that make the English language a little bit complicated, but we keep demystifying it. Okay, next we'll look at another pronoun type. So to wrap up this video on our second lesson on pronouns, remember to watch the first before the second. We'll still have another video on pronouns. Now, we'll look at the interrogative pronouns. These are pronouns used in asking questions. Pronouns used in asking questions. Please, this is not question. 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 So, they include who, whom, whose, which, what, and all of that. Now, what are you? This person wants to know your profession. What you do. What are you? I am a teacher. You are a student. Now, who are you? This person wants to know your name. Who are you? I am Martin Eba. Alright? So, which do you want? Now, which is used when you have a choice or things to choose from. When I talked about, when we taught adjectives on this platform, we did try to differentiate between the use of what and the use of which. What school are you? And which school are you? You should be mindful. Now, which school should be used when there are two obvious schools. So which of them? But when you have no inkling what school somebody is, don't go asking which school are you. It should be what school are you? Right? You don't have any idea of where this person is studying. It should be what school are you? Now, so which do you want? Remember, we are using them as pronouns. So which is a pronoun representing whatever it is you want to show or give to that person. Who are you? Who is the subject, you, the complement. Whom have you wronged? I use whom here because if I use who, we'll be having the subject form and the subject form. So by using whom, I have used whom as the object, even though it is starting the sentence, while you is the subject. So, like we said, the subject can come between the auxiliary verb and the main verb. The subject can come. Watch other lessons on the use of subject. You notice this. I'm saying it again, and so you can learn it now if this is the first video on this. Whom have you wronged? You is actually the subject. Whom is the object of this sentence. The issue here is that it is starting the sentence because of the constructive nature, the interrogative nature of the sentence. So, whom is used here, which is the object, and you is used there, which is the subject. Okay, finally, I have who's got lost. Who's got lost. The item in discussion has been noted, so there's no need mentioning anymore. That is the implication. Who's got lost. The participants in that discussion already know what was being talked about. Thank you so much for always being a part of this program, and I hope, like we usually say, that you have subscribed, you have continued to share these videos, and you will continue to like what we do on this platform. Don't forget that we have past questions on most of these topics, so you can always log on to those past questions and get more. Thank you, thank you, thank you.